everybody, and good Friday to you. It is the Weekend Big Show powered by Law Dog Sports. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog, here with you as we are every week, talking sports for the Great Southwest and Great Plains. I don't know why I added great for the Southwest, but, you know, kind of that Oklahoma region. I'm joined by my partner of low 7 years, Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airways, checking in with us from Normantown. And Jeremy, I got to think that I would expect to be hearing game reports from you tomorrow from Norman. Did you find a ticket?
Oh my God, we're still efforting that.
Now, Cunado, one of our super fans, Lenny, he generally got the connection, doesn't he?
He does. I don't know what's going. I think since Oklahoma may be good this year, that it's a little heavier on the lottery at his place of business. So
I know I've said this story before, but I'll say it again. I bought a season ticket for the first time because, you know, I didn't move to Oklahoma until Barry was kind of on his way out. I mean, Oklahoma City. Didn't have money as a kid to go to games. So, but in 1990, I went to my first one, and I just went with a buddy who walked around and held up two fingers and bought tickets on the super cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he was a bit of a wheeler dealer. He wanted to take those and multiply money. I just wanted to get in the game.
Sure.
But so kind of did that all through the 90s. And if somebody had tickets for a big game, you know, you'd go. But I think probably the biggest game I went to in the 90s would have been the Colorado OU game in 95.
95.
Yeah, first game.
That was
New Heisel coming to town. And
was that the airlift from the field for Cale Gundy?
No. Gundy was gone. It was the year that
that was the Schnell year.
I think. No, Eric. Who started that game?
Who did? Fuente?
No, it wasn't Fuente yet. 95 was Schnellenberger's 1 year.
That was Eric Moore?
I think it was, and OU just, I mean, they had Gerald Moore and James Allen in the backfield.
Yeah. I went to a lot of really bad games that year, and I'm scarred by it.
So when they make the hiring of Bob Stoops in 98, I said, I was single at the time. I said, I'm going to get a season ticket. And I think the first season in 1999, my season ticket for 5 games that year was $98.
Man.
And there wasn't no donating to the touchdown club or anything either.
You know, why can't you tell when you're, you know, if you're in the good old days, when you're in the good old days?
Oh yeah. I remember thinking, golly, $98. That's, you know, that could be my beer money for the month.
Yeah.
But no. And then they started pricing me out. And by 03, I said, you know what? You're really good. You're on TV every weekend. I'll sit at home.
Yeah. We had season tickets because, you know, my dad, he worked for the Postal Service.
There we are. Thanks, Dan.
Hey, look at us. We had he worked on back when the Postal Training Center was on campus.
Yeah.
So when he got transferred in here from, I think when I was little, we were like down in Lorena, Texas, and Waco. So we came here, he got faculty tickets.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, section 38, row 69, seats 14 and 15 in the south end zone. And, you know, we had those until they remodeled.
Yeah.
And kept them, moved us into the north end zone, which I don't know if you've ever sat in that north end zone. It is just awful.
Oh, that's where my ticket was. Section 20.
And I think it was only awful because I had a guy who sitting right next to me who was about 6'6" and probably weighed about 400 pounds.
Taking up a few extra space.
Yeah. So, you know, I sit like, scrunched over the whole game. Like this is just not it. And
I got to know some people that had season tickets in front of me in 98, 99, and they had gotten season tickets their first year because their son was in the Pride. And they were from Hobart, and I know he was a banker. And I tell you, I've met 10 people from Hobart. Maybe they just lied to me. I don't know. I've met 10 people from Hobart. Unless I'm massacring their names, nobody knew them. It was like, how do you not know people in Hobart, Oklahoma? But they were really nice people, and you know, typical me in in a fashion, of a heavy pregame celebration. A&M was in town that year in 99. And
51-6, baby.
Yeah.
What a game.
That was the Ninja.
Yes.
And I made the stupid remark of, A&M's band's the only reason to stick around for halftime. They never really talked to me again. So
yeah. And then you watch the band, and you're like, I don't get it.
But hey, I was fired up for their son and the pride in the pregame. So
yep.
But yeah, so tomorrow in Norman, it's going to be, I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere once again. I think this is a good Auburn team coming in. I think it's a really good OU defense that's going to be facing them. And we'll get into some predictions later, but I mean, we've seen when OU has a competent, quality team, you don't want to come into Norman.
No.
Norman's a tough place to play on the road, if OU in a big setting like this.
Outside of one season, during Bob Stoops' entire tenure, they typically held serve at home.
Oh, yeah.
I remember what
really
year was that
OSU, 01 OSU.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State. I don't remember non-conference games going by the wayside other than 05.
Yeah, you had the Notre Dame in 12.
Yeah, that was one they weren't.
That was a good Notre Dame team.
Ohio State in 2016.
Yep.
That team played in the playoffs, I believe. So
one of Stoops' last years, he lost 3 games at home, and man, that was a hell on earth.
Yeah,
going to those games, like I just don't know how much longer I can do this.
Well, and it's one of those things, Jeremy, where I just feel like there's a vibe with this team. I feel like and we'll get into more of it here in a minute because it's so many storylines, and Barry Trammell just has to be living the high life, and those guys like that with the storylines of Jackson Arnold coming back and things like that. But to me, it's just, it sets up like one of those games when Florida State or Miami came here in the early 2010s. You knew you were going back there and it would be a tough go, but I mean, when they rolled into Norman, the first drive, the scripted drive is just so precise, so on target. And I can't see anything from Auburn right now that would make me think differently.
Yeah, and especially we need to save some of that for later.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll get into it.
Okay.
OU going into it, they're a 7-point favorite. That line has gone up throughout the week, so I guess money going on Auburn.
Saw 7 and a hook yesterday.
Okay, I've got 7 on the score app right now.
7 and a hook.
Over under is 46.5. Let me get the glasses on. Old man radio here.
Evil 4 letters got it at 7 and a hook.
Okay, Score's got it at 7, and 46.5 is the over under. Money line is 220 on Auburn.
The only thing that's giving me pause is everyone thinks Oklahoma. I mean, especially I'm watching the SEC this morning, and they think Oklahoma is just gonna donkey punch them all night.
That's I never liked it going into as a favorite. We played that underdog role so much in the OU Texas rivalry throughout the aughts and the teens.
Yep, 2014. Trevor Knight lost to Baylor. Oh my gosh, the downfall of Mike Stoops.
Yeah, that was a bad loss because wasn't that the one where he's screaming at the DB?
Yeah, they were bailing and everything and just throwing little pop passes and just right down the field. Yeah.
But yeah, it's there were some bad home losses, but generally in these big non-conference games, and even the OSU game, the Ohio State game, it was a situation where that team was just not.
They hadn't gelled yet.
But I mean, you think about that team later down the season. I thought if there was a 4-team playoff that year, OU could have made some noise.
Oh yeah.
But so John Mateer comes in and he basically took over the starting job for Jackson Arnold after Jackson transferred out, because even though Michael Hawkins got some starts last year, they had settled in with Jackson. Mateer averaging a lot more yardage passing, 314 to 167.
A little more than
He
those
does have
65-yard games.
Yeah. Arnold's got a good completion percentage. He's threw for 4 touchdowns, no picks. Running wise, the Cobb kid for Auburn is averaging 104 yards a game. And then I don't know, who would have thought that we would have a converted linebacker tight end averaging 81.5 yards per game receiving.
I know, and man, Kanek is. I gush about the kid just because he's stuck around. He was kind of a fan favorite from day one because he followed Brent here, had no scholarship, got released by Dabo, and Brent took it. Brent wasn't going to take him,
Yeah,
because he didn't want to recruit against Clemson. Ended up enrolling on campus with no guarantee and stuck around. Didn't work for him on defense. Switched over to offense 3 years too late and has just excelled in the spot he's been in. And it's not like he's just a guy out there. I mean, he's a good hands catcher.
yeah.
He moves well with the ball. He moves well without the ball. He's physical. He'll hit you because he's a linebacker.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
just a great move for him.
Yeah. Dan Narva, our super fan in Michigan, since 14 was the first year I followed OU. They had 3 home losses that year, and then everybody knew that there was some change coming that year. Wasn't that Heupel's last year too?
Yeah, that was that last year, the Trevor Knight experience.
Yeah,
And Cody Thomas.
yeah, yeah. And that was that the repeat punt?
Yep, that was the year that Cody Thomas started, and they couldn't throw the ball to save their lives.
They had the game won.
They had the game won. All they had to do was just not repunt to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, because defense was playing all
And that
right.
was a bad Oklahoma State team.
Yeah, they were. Man, the streak, he was trying everything he could last night to give the Dolphins a road win, but unlucky. Yeah, Dan Narva pointing out that was the season also that P. Ryan had the 427. I thought that was in Norman, or was it at Kansas?
That was in Norman. It was a rainy day.
Kansas, but I thought it was in Norman.
Me and Cunyato were down there in the south end zone enjoying every second of it.
It was rainy that day too, wasn't it?
Was.
Real wet. So yeah, P. Ryan was a great story that season, really the only story that season. But no, this Auburn team, I mean, Jeremy, it's so easy to dislike Hugh Freeze. He's almost as dislikable as the Arkansas AD. I mean, it's just if that AD and Hugh Freeze ever found a home together, I mean, it would be like the Temple of Doom. I mean, it would just they'd rise up out of the swamp water. They're just
bringing Cody Campbell as the financier.
Who? Cody Campbell?
Yeah,
yeah. Talk about if he shaves his head bald and starts carrying around a pussycat, we'll know that he's the embodiment of Dr. Evil. You remind me what I pay you people for.
$100 billion.
$1 million.
I like to think that's how he meets with recruits.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. And welcome John Arnold to the show. He says if the O-line plays well, OU should win by 14 or more. I don't see Venables letting Arnold beat them. No, I mean, last year was such a feel 'em out game until the Kip 6. Or was that the game with the Kip 6?
That was one of them.
Yeah, he had the one on out against Alabama.
That's what sealed the game.
Yeah.
If you remember, though, the defense let them drive right down the midfield.
They did. And Hawkins had a great run in that one last year. And so I mean,
and the 2-point conversion.
Freeze's defense is that the one where they put Arnold in for that?
Did they? Because Hawkins ran it in himself.
On the touchdown or on the 2-point?
On the 2-point.
Okay. Well, I thought, wasn't there a play was it?
I think you're thinking Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler.
That was it. Okay, so that's how the mind flows. So anyways, but I mean, Hawkins and Arnold they were running the same flawed system, but they were different quarterbacks. So really the Auburn defense, and I'm not trying to make an advantage here where it's not, but I mean, they prepared last year for Michael Hawkins.
Yep.
now they've got a whole new system. So it's probably really good that, if you lose a quarterback like that, I mean, strategy wise,
yeah.
isn't it better that you're bringing in a whole new system and he can't really fill them in as to what they're going to
100%. I mean, he took the system with him to Auburn. All that zone read they run there and short passes. Have a little trouble getting the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I want Jackson to succeed, just not this week.
Yeah. He's not, I can't imagine he's a bad kid, but I mean,
he burned a red shirt.
These Elite 11 kids.
Yeah.
They're becoming more of a crapshoot. Is that fair to say?
If you bring, I mean, yes. Yeah. I mean, with Arch, I think
Malachi Nelson at UTEP.
Malachi Nelson. I mean, Nelson, I was going to make the point that if you bring him into a competent system with a good quarterback coach, but he went to USC.
I mean,
if you can't find a guy with a more quarterback-friendly system, maybe Caleb Williams broke the system. I don't know.
Yeah, that may be the statement of the season on this show. I mean, because Rattler never seemed super comfortable in Lincoln's system while at OU. The one season at OU he was there.
Yeah, Spencer won a Big 12 title.
He won a Big 12 title. That was 2020 in a COVID year.
A lot of that might have also been, Spencer himself. Now he seems to be doing okay at that. What's that league he's playing in? The NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting on my fantasy bench and had, I think, 22 points this week.
Yeah.
He just plays for a god-awful Saints team.
I beat Connard last week.
Yeah, good for you. I don't think I can crack 90 this year.
I barely beat him. I beat him by like 3 points. But
hey, next year, if we end up with 20 teams, we probably ought to switch it up to 2 leagues.
2 10-team leagues.
I've got a backup starting.
Okay. Well, yeah, it got pretty thin there in the later rounds, but
yes, it did.
To me, that's kind of what makes it fun. But I sure could use a big Saquon week. I'll just say that.
Well, I had the
your boy Mahomie.
I had the consensus bust of the week. Derrick Henry got me a whopping 2.3 points against Cleveland last week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Steve Anderson said we should do Dynasty League next year. Steve, I don't know if I'd be talking big talk right now, considering some of the shenanigans he's allowed to go on.
I would just enjoy being able to draft.
Yeah. You had to do the auto draft, so that's not as fun. Maybe I tell you what, we'll do this next year. If this world is still intact, we will set up the draft around your schedule.
Oh, thank you. That'd be superb.
That's the least I can do for a host of 7 years. All right, man.
The Boz is on SEC Network this morning.
Now, it's Marty McGee. Are they doing live stuff from
Marty McGee and Paul? Tomorrow could be the day. Paul,
Man,
this is Charlie from Thomas.
If I'd have been calling in all this time, I could go down there. Hey, I'm Charlie from Thomas.
I want to know what we got to do to get Brent Venables out of there.
I don't think he's qualified for this job.
I grew up during Barry Switzer.
We need to go get Saban.
What would it take?
To
get Sean McDermott to Norman?
Oh gosh! So 2:30 kickoff tomorrow, and Jeremy, the injury report released yesterday would give one pause. A lot of offensive linemen again, and I from what I understand, and my small gathering is that they'll basically have the same 5 that they've rolled with since last week.
Fasusi's playing tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
he's probable,
questionable or probable.
He's probable now. They had the update last night, and I'm see if I can effort that.
But that's where to me, that's where it all begins. You're already dealing with the R. Mason Thomas suspension of a half, but then also you're looking at, I think Keontez Lewis is listed as probable.
Yes, which that shocks me. Okay. Let's see. I have the
Was he a
injury
concussion protocol?
Huh?
Was Keontez Lewis a concussion or was it a lower extremity?
They never said.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So out is Jeremiah Newcomb, hadn't played this year. Troy Everett, Sexton, and Taylor. I don't think any of them have played much this year at all.
Yeah.
Doubtful Javonte Gibson, Eli Bowen. Neither have played this season.
Bowen would make for some good depth in the secondary. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but you got Dolby back. Both corners have been really well. Yeah, Cortland Guillory's played really well.
Yeah. Does he see extra attention this week from Hugh Freeze because he is a freshman?
Bring it. I mean, he's been really good. I don't know because you got Gentry Williams on the other corner. So yeah, maybe.
And we keep him healthy. That's huge.
So
right?
Probably got Zion Kearney, Tez Lewis, Okaye, he's going to play. Fabechi Nwewu, who hasn't missed.
Danny Okoye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okoye.
Christian Okoye. Remember him?
Yeah, the Nigerian Nightmare.
Thank you.
Michael Fasusi and Jake Michaela. So,
Fasusi didn't play any last week, right?
He did not. He had a lower, I think he rolled an ankle. And Michaela, he'll see the field.
All right.
So will Fabechi. He hadn't missed a game in 2 seasons with OU. He's been their most consistent, best offensive lineman.
Okay.
So, yeah, you've got guys out that have been out. R. Mason Thomas out the first half. And
you like the 2:30 kickoff?
I don't mind the 2:30 kickoff if I go to the game. That's a good time. You got to have
your evening.
Yeah, you got enough time to tailgate in the morning without it being stupid early to crack a beer at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
That's a little much. You start getting older and those morning beers just don't hit the same.
I haven't drank a morning beer in 10 years, I bet. Maybe longer.
But 2:30 is a good time. You still have your evening. It's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
11 a.m. If they're playing on the road, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Make them all 11 a.m.
Sure.
I like the 11 a.m. Get up, have breakfast.
I'm not going to a game, or if it's not an event, I have to kind of dance around. I can get that,
And then you have the rest of the day clear to watch college football or get that honey-do list going.
I gotta say, it was pretty nice. I was still feeling a bit under the weather last week, so I just kind of crashed and we did all right. Question from go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You got the question.
John Arnold says, what are your thoughts on Ott? Hearing rumors he's not gelling with the offense, not putting in a lot of effort, not wanting to block. That'll end your NIL deal pretty quick. I don't hear what people say necessarily. You probably catch more, insider talk than I do, but it's obvious by the play on the field that he's not a consistent part of the offensive plan. That's pretty fair to say, right?
Yeah, and with a running back like that, he's never going to find the rhythm. What I've heard is the staff probably thought he could go this summer when he was out with the shoulder, I guess in fall camp, August. And he's just kind of got buried by guys that, put the work in, like Blaylock, who's been really good.
He's coming in to make a name.
Javonte Barnes is a worker, make a name for himself.
Yeah.
Javonte Barnes has been a worker. He's been around. He's willing to do all the dirty things, block, do whatever you need him to do. I've been pretty critical of Javonte Barnes, but he is a team.
Can't really this season. I mean,
yeah, that first game he was running into the backs of his linemen a little bit more than I'd like to see.
Yeah, nobody seemed like they were really gelling in the first game, honestly.
Yeah, this is no matter how good you think they are, that running game is a work in progress. It's going to look completely different.
Yeah,
probably today than it looked 2 weeks ago, and at the end of the season than it looks today.
Well, I mean, one thing that we know about a Venables, system is that the workers are going to get the snaps. I mean, we've seen that since '99, on defense there, and
definitely,
if you show up and you collected a big NIL deal, to come to OU. You won't have it very long, I would imagine, if you're not, contributing. So we'll see. Because I say that it's not like they just have money to throw around. I mean, you're not going to waste a bunch of cash on a guy that don't really put out effort.
All indications was the kid was going to come in and be electric. That's not just from,
that was everybody.
Local homers. That was one of the biggest gets in the transfer portal between Oklahoma and Georgia. And
for whatever rankings they did for OU in the transfer portal hall when they ranked them all, I mean, between him and Mateer, that's what put OU up probably top 10 they were looked at.
Yeah, definitely. With Mateer and him, and then the linemen they got, and the receivers were extremely.
Yeah, they were questionable.
They were questionable. Maybe a little underrated. I think the Satania move was underrated.
It could be, but if he can't secure a punt, then
if he makes me have a heart attack, then that's all she wrote on Isaiah.
Our whole goal with Satania is just prove Connard wrong.
Just catch the damn ball. Just catch it.
This
doesn't hurt anybody.
JPCW, just prove Connard wrong. So anyways, John Arnold, thank you for the question. And by the way, that one came from Facebook. All of our comments so far today from Facebook, but we are streaming live on YouTube and Twitter X. So would love to hear from some fans. Chime in, give us your opinion, question, anything like that. So Jeremy, it's going to be a big day. Special teams wise, this OU team, they'll need to play soundly. And I don't know. Kicking game, how do you feel about that going into tomorrow?
I feel better about it today, especially our punter. Tate Sandell had a nice long field goal. I think the miss he had this year was outside of 50, and that's not a chip shot.
No.
He looks like left-footed Jimmy Stevens to me. If you remember Jimmy Stevens and the angst he gave Sooner Nation back in the 90s or the 2000s.
Who was it that kicked the burrito?
That would have been Gabe Burkich.
Okay.
And that was the end for him. Yeah, that kid was just automatic.
He ruined his career kicking that burrito.
He's banging them through from 50 every week, and
what an indictment on American culture that we take food that could be edible and have some idiot kick it.
What are you guys doing?
I watched the Live Aid documentary on Max yesterday. Bob Geldof and Live Aid back in '85, and I was like, he's talking about wasted food, and the first thing that came to my mind was the
Gabe Burkich
burrito. So I like OU to cover tomorrow. I can't remember what I picked my score as on the pick'em.
Oh, I was looking to share our live feed, but I'm going to go to my picks now.
Yeah,
because last week I had the Lisan LG Prescience, and I picked the Michigan score right on the nose.
You did. You nailed that one.
The heck? What the hell? Oh, there it is. Hi. Let me find my picks. There they are. Sorry, going through the browser, I don't know where it is. Oh, I've got Oklahoma State Tulsa blank, so I need to figure that out. Oklahoma State's a 13-point favorite at home.
Yeah, that
we'll 28-7 Oklahoma.
28-7 Oklahoma. Let me see what I picked, because I think I had the OUD playing pretty well also.
And I got Arkansas scoring the most points this week.
Who do they got?
That's a great question, because I did research this heavily yesterday.
Oh yeah. I got 35-17 OU.
This will be my worst week because I actually looked at it. Where the heck is the Arkansas?
Is Oregon and Oregon State what they always call the Civil War?
I think so.
Or is it? Yeah.
Arkansas's got Memphis.
Oh, is Memphis that far down?
I don't think so. I just think Arkansas is going to have
that one up there, bro. I went Oregon with the most points and Oregon State with the least.
See, I didn't pick that game because it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
Is that at Outson or is that in Corvallis?
That one is.
It's at Outson.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
God, do I pick Oklahoma State? Do I pick Tulsa?
Yeah, it's at Autzen Stadium, 35.5.
Every fiber of my being is screaming Tulsa right now.
Memphis is a 7-point dog to the Razorbacks.
7 points.
You're thinking shootout, huh?
I think Arkansas is just going to kill them.
My question is, the Mean Green of University of North Texas are a 2.5-point favorite over the Black Knights of Army. I know Army could slow that down, but they could also go out there and just, because
I think North Texas is really good this
they
year.
really put it on Wazoo. So, wrapping up OU Auburn, this storyline with Jackson Arnold, this whole thing with Hugh Freeze. I mean, the game last year. Is it drama free in the second half, or is it still just kind of waiting to pull away?
I think it might be 1 or 2 scores hitting the second half. Mateer's going to do something, and that'll be the start of the avalanche.
How much does he have to run the ball for them to open up the offense? Because he ran the ball pretty excessively against Michigan.
I think he's gonna run it 15 times.
Okay.
But I think a healthy Torrey Blaylock is going to be very effective tomorrow. And with Fasusi back anchoring that left tackle.
Yeah.
But, it's very deceptive when they talk about the run game, when you see how many times they run the touch passes.
Sure.
That's a run. That's a run. It originates behind the line. I get it. They call it a pass. I don't. Yeah. That's great for your percentages, but Deion Burks has been really good on that. Satania's been really good on that. It's a run.
Do you feel like the moment will be so big that Jackson Arnold will kind of fall back into Jackson Arnold mold, or is he a changed quarterback?
Man,
I mean, he's got more targets this year.
He does have more targets. He's got a healthy team around him, which is big, but that Oklahoma defense is something else. Even without R. Mason Thomas, you sit him down, and you got PJ Adebawore, who's 6'5", 260 pounds, and runs like a cheetah.
Yeah.
And Okoye and Taylor Wine,
David Stone,
Jaden Jackson, Dominic Williams,
is
Grayson Dalton, who we don't even
Florida
talk
State
about.
transfer kid.
Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones, is he on the list? Was he on the list as probable?
I think he's on the list as questionable. But I think he plays.
All right. So we both got OU, and I'd say 35-17. I'm kind of picking OU in a big way. I think you would be too. You've got Auburn with 7.
28-7.
28-7. So, and then, granted, those plays can kind of break. I mean, those scores can kind of break either way late. You never know.
I think Arnold's going to get the happy feet from the pass rush, because Brent's going to be dialing up blitzes that he hasn't seen the likes of since he struggled in fall camp last year, and they wanted to bench it. The coaching staff wanted to bench him.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun, and 2:30 is the kickoff, and then tomorrow night at 6:30, and this one's going to be an ESPN game, so a lot of fun for the Turnpike rivalry as the Tulsa Golden Hurricane travel to Stillwater at Boone Pickens Stadium. 6:30 kickoff for that. Are you a little surprised that that's the national game on the mothership?
Which game was that? I kind of zoned out for a second.
OSU Tulsa. That thing that I mentioned
tomorrow night. Yeah. Sorry. Cold medicine.
Oh yeah.
It's a Friday night game. I thought it was a Friday night game.
Friday night. Sorry. National game tonight. Sorry.
That doesn't surprise me. Not a lot of people want to play Friday nights.
I don't know. I knew that was a Friday night game when we started this show, and I'm sitting there reading. It's like, oh, it's a Saturday night.
That's why I got confused when you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm half in it today.
Share of cold medicine, so my apologies.
That's okay.
So 6:30 tonight, it is the national game on the mothership, and OSU is a 10-point favorite. The over/under is 54 and a hook. Money line on OSU is 375.
If I had to put my own money on that, I would not touch that game.
I'm going to say this. I mean, we've seen the heavy portal effect on this OSU team. I mean, they showed no fight at Autzen Stadium.
Is this a team that's given up on its coach?
That's the question. I mean, that would be the question at hand. The coach at TU, he's coming in, and I mean, and he's kind of fiery. They're, I'm sure they're a little miffed that they dropped that one. Which one was it that they dropped?
Was it Rice?
Navy.
42-23,
and then the New Mexico State loss. That was the one that they felt like they really let slip away. But they go down to Las Cruces, and I think New Mexico State's a middle of the pack Conference USA team, but they put up 23 against Navy last week. And I think in normal situations, Jeremy, this would be just an OSU route. They would just kind of put it on them early. But I mean, we don't know what the mindset is of this team and how they really feel about, playing for this quarterback. And the question being is, has he lost the locker room? We don't know, but you have to ask yourself.
I don't even know, man. There is just so much going on with Oklahoma State football.
Now, you kind of have to like them coming off the bye.
I mean, Futex got him winning 37-17. Oklahoma State with an 11.5, and he's 3.5 against the spread. Man, I guess Oklahoma State. I guess I'm going to pick Oklahoma State. It feels so weird that we're having this discussion about a program that's been really good up until 2 years ago.
Let's see. They play for the Big 12 title in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
The last year, Texas and OU were in the conference. And then last year, they go in with all kinds of expectations, returning players, and the offensive line decides they don't want to block for Ollie Gordon, who I'm sorry, I saw a few plays of him last night. He still got it. He didn't go.
He's a fantastic player.
He didn't go from Doak Walker Award winner to bum in one season. I mean,
playing on that team last year, I can't even remember who the OC was, but I think he was better served being a receivers coach. Can't remember.
Jurkic. Yeah, he's out.
Just a disaster last year. Didn't win a conference game.
Yeah, and barely won their third non-con game in overtime against the Hogs. But so I mean,
sorry, Connor.
Yeah, I mean that was tough.
When they won that game, I thought Gundy might have them. I thought they might win the conference when they beat Arkansas.
And I mean, even last year in the midst of a terrible season, they bring in Texas Tech and get into a shootout with them, 56-48. And then bookended between that are two blowouts between TCU and Colorado. This team is as helter-skelter. This program is as helter-skelter as anything I've seen in sports in a long time.
And now Gundy's doing things he has never done before. I mean, 40 new players from the transfer portal. Couple that with his developmental lackluster recruiting that they don't spend any money on in Stillwater.
Well, but I mean, I'm going to go as far as say this. When you said the word developmental, quarterback's the first thing that came to mind. And when you look at those when you look at the best OSU teams over the last 25 years, what's been the prime spot that they've shown?
They've had good quarterback play.
They've had good quarterbacks. Brandon Whedon was an outstanding.
Mason Rudolph was a good college quarterback. Rudolph was
good.
Even Taylor Cornelius, had a good season when he finally got to start. He had been there for 6 years.
And then Zach Robinson.
Zach Robinson
was a good quarterback who I think maybe he's a name being bandied about in case they do pull the hook on Gundy.
Yeah, I guess that's a young man's job.
Definitely. I mean,
that's a young man's job.
You got coming up. What is he 60 now, or he's 58? Yeah. 58.
You got to be willing to get in there and get in the dirt because
if you're not Pete Carroll every day and popping in there and bebopping and scatting around like my
Seinfeld. You're a Seinfeld, right? I got it.
Bebopping and scatting. But anyways, if you're not that guy anymore, I mean the days of being lackadaisical and non-enthusiastic, I think, are gone for college football coaches. You have to bring the energy every day, and
definitely.
So I don't know, but I this could be the game where we see OSU come out and say, yeah, we're still, we're not going to lose at home or be in a dogfight at home with an American Conference team. I don't know.
You have to hope so. And I hope the best for them up there, even though that's just.
But, on a bigger parameter, Jeremy, I mean, coming off of a Big 12 championship appearance in the final year before the two big names left, there was a lot of onus put on the Pokes to be the next team.
Because if you look at it objectively, when Texas A&M and Nebraska bolted, they filled that void.
Oh yeah, in a big way.
They filled that void. They kept it rolling a little bit, being that team 3 through 5, where they were going to be good. They could probably pop up and win the conference every once and again, but it was never an easy out when you played them.
Yeah.
They were going to go to bowl games. They were going to develop guys. They were going to bring in a bunch of 2- and 3-star kids. And by the time they were done, they were going to be pretty good football players.
Yeah.
Especially receiver and quarterback. They're not that program anymore.
No.
And especially, you're taking 40 guys out of the transfer portal. I mean, you're getting up there with Colorado.
So Trey Lamb in his first season at Tulsa has them averaging 400 yards per game total offense, 23 points per game, or 24 points per game and allowing 23. And they're passing the ball. All of their offensive numbers look better than OSU, but OSU's coming off of a complete, rout 2 weeks ago, and then a lackluster appearance against UT Martin. The thing about it is, I mean, I would probably pick TU over UT Martin today. So does TU come in there and just kind of punch them in the nose, and what do they do after that? That's the question. I mean, it's all about who falters first, right?
You got to think, playing it on your home field, in-state rivalry, not a rivalry, whatever, that you're gonna play with some pride,
mm-hmm.
And that's got to come with the development or the week of practice, the preparation.
Yeah,
I don't know if Gundy's got it in him anymore. I think he's better served maybe if he still wants to coach, go coach somewhere else. Remember the offense he ran back, when everyone was going to the
zone
air raid.
Oh,
and he ran that wide open offense, run the football, guys running open all over the place. What happened to that?
I don't know. And, Doug Meacham, I've given Doug Meacham more credit over the years than maybe he even deserves. I mean, I always felt like him, I always felt like back in that TCU time, who did you feel like took the back seat in that dual offensive coordinator, Cumbie or Meacham?
I always thought it was Cumbie.
Took the back seat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he got more. I always felt like he got more shine than Meacham, but it was, I don't know. I didn't follow daily.
But those were really good offenses. I mean, you would think that
they're Trevon Boykin offenses.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the thing about it is this Haas Haney kid came in and looked like he could really maneuver the offense, and then he gets hurt against UT Martin. I mean, talk about snake bit, but as with anything, you've got to run the ball, and they've got Caleb Hicks, the transfer from OU. What's funny to me, and I don't say funny like I'm getting satisfaction out of it.
Yeah, we're both feeling it today, guys. So if you hear pauses,
radio,
it's because we both muted our mics.
That's right. Mutual coughing. This sucks. I mean, the ragweed count in Oklahoma is just—it's got to be diabolical. It's got to be a conspiracy. I am sorry.
It is.
But Gavin Freeman was expected to roll into to OSU, and really, he's the OU transfer. He was the walk-on. Had a couple of electric plays, but they've not been able to do much with him. I don't know. OSU's won the Kendall Daniels swap off. That's for sure.
You mean OU's won the Kendall Daniels swap?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, you said OSU.
Oh, did I? OU's won the Kendall Daniels swap off. Sorry.
Yeah, he's been really good, and they said he had quit on the team last year.
Yeah, it was some bad harmony last year, obviously, and that's what generally that's what happens when you're losing conference game after conference game, and you could tell by that blowout against Colorado they were done.
So Hicks has 35 carries, 119 yards, averaging 3.4 a carry. Gavin Freeman has 6 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. Just to back up what you were talking about.
And all of that would basically be against most of all of that would basically be against UT Martin, because it's not like they did anything against Oregon at all.
Yeah, they scored 3 points.
Yeah.
Logan Ward kicked field goal.
Yeah. So but anyways, I'm going to go ahead and say Tulsa covers, but OSU wins. I know that's copping out, but that's just kind of how I see it.
I mean, it's, what is it, 11.5 points?
I've got it at 10.
10. Oklahoma State will cover the 10.
54.5. I'd take the, for some reason, part of me wants to take the under on that.
54.5. Yeah. I'm looking at like a 40-21 when I'm looking at the teams side by side.
Okay.
I just don't think that.
I don't know that either offense can really get clicking that much. I mean, because I think OSU will have the horses on D to kind of.
It's one of those athlete things.
Yeah.
If it turns into a track meet, then Oklahoma State's going to blow them out of the water.
That could be. If so, on the odds chance that Tulsa does roll in there with a win, what's the timeline on Gundy? Because I mean, I think we live in a day now, and you'd put out on the text thread that we'd heard the news that the spring portal would be no more.
Yep.
But that means you got to put all your eggs in the winter portal, right?
If you replace a coach, you get 30 days after the coach leaves to enter for an additional portal window.
Okay.
That's going to stay the same. But
so does that mean now when a team does replace a coach, they could just get completely fleeced?
Mm-hmm. It would be like, I mean, we've seen this before when SMU got the death penalty and you had coaches and scouts from other programs just showing up in the players' parking lot.
Yeah.
With scholarship paperwork for these guys to sign.
Yeah.
It could, it'd be one of those deals.
Okay. Well, I would say the timeline's pretty fast on Gundy if they drop this one. I mean, because they're coming off of that embarrassment at Autzen.
Yeah.
And looked a bit lackluster against. I mean, you got your quarterback hurt against UT Martin.
That's true.
Well, I tell you what. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll just say this. I think his time has come. And Steve Anderson's our kind of lone OSU fan on here. He's not chiming in, so I wonder if we've stepped over bounds. But you've said it's a young man's game. I think he's kind of stuck in his old ways. I think when you throw in some of the political ramifications that he's had to deal with wearing the OAN shirt when he's out striper fishing and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know the temperature in the locker room, but he doesn't seem like a guy who bends anymore, except to the administration.
Right. And I said it's a young man's job. And I'm talking about Oklahoma State, these smaller FCS, Power 5 jobs, Power 4 jobs. It's a young man's job. And I say that because they do not have the support system in place for him to just be a coach. Now, if they had like a general manager, director of football operations, things like that, things like they're doing down the street here in Norman, then it really frees up your head coach to just be a ball coach. Yeah. And I think that's what Gundy desperately needs.
Yeah.
They don't have that kind of support system in Stillwater. And they should, because I think that would save them a lot of headaches. I mean, in the long run, if they want to keep Gundy, if Gundy wants to stay there, who knows if he's at the hell with it phase right now. Just because of resources and support.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that being him.
I mean, just look at the difference here in Norman now that Venables he's not having to worry about the offense. He's got a guy with him in Kevin Wilson who is really good strategically. You haven't seen OU waste timeouts this year.
Yeah.
We've seen that so much in the last 3 years of just calling a timeout when there's no need to call a timeout.
No. Steve Anderson said it's money. OSU has a heavyweight wrestler making more money than their entire quarterback room.
How is that even possible? Wrestling is a non-rev sport.
That is a total non-rev sport. I mean, but
Steve, you would have to agree.
I don't mean to go all bedlam on this, but I mean they've kind of hung their hat on all their non-rev sports.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess because OU never wins, but nobody outside of a very small footprint, which is the Big 12, Big 10, because OU still wrestles in the Big 12.
Yeah.
No one gives a rip about wrestling.
I haven't followed a wrestling score, and who was the Spates? Was he the OU coach for a long time?
No. Oh my gosh. He used to live down the street from us. It was Stan Abel.
Stan Abel. Okay. Yeah. But now, I mean, OSU, they're hitting that kind of turning point, and it's kind of pony up or move on. And
you gotta modernize.
And I said this about Tech when they got rid of Matt Wells and then, went through who was after Wells at Tech? Was it Cumbie?
Matt Wells they went straight from Wells to
McGuire.
To McGuire, yeah.
Okay.
Because it was Cliff. Yeah.
Cumbie was an interim, I think.
Yes.
Okay. But when they got rid of Kingsbury and hired Wells, I mean, it's typical that you're in a Power 5 conference, you go get the Group of 5 coach who's on the upswing. But I mean, at the end of the day, you better have a really good plan in place if you're going to give Gundy the hook.
Yeah, and they're
not at a point where you can really lure. I mean, you're going to be, like I mentioned earlier, Zach Robinson is a name I've heard talked about, because he's a receivers coach somewhere.
Well, if Zach Robinson he's a receivers coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
He needs to come in and make demands that I want a general manager. I need this support staff in place.
Yeah.
And that way you hire a general manager, the AD doesn't have to fire anybody.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, GM goes and does it. Joe Castiglione is retiring because he's outlived. It's time for him to go. But football, you need the other sports maybe need an AD, but football doesn't.
Well, and you can't miss on players anymore. I mean, the days of gobbling up kids in the recruiting cycle. I mean, you
filling up on bread.
You have to scout them out good.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about, not wasting money unless you're Cody Campbell. And by the way, the Texas Tech Red Raiders are 3.5-point dogs at Salt Lake City tomorrow. The over-under is 57.5. That's a big noon kickoff, I believe, on Fox, and 11 a.m. kickoff actually here. But that's pretty early in Utah for a kickoff, and those Mormons are going to be fired up.
Give me Tech.
I like Tech. The one thing about it is, and I'm probably the one person in our text thread, or maybe that has any involvement with this show, that watched any amount of New Mexico Lobo football last year. Bronco Mendenhall and Beck, the OC, who's now the OC at Utah, and also brought his quarterback Devin Dampier, and that kid is electric. And if Tech can't contain him, they're going to be in for a long day.
Utah's got a good squad this year.
They're pretty solid. Watching their fans interact with Tech fans on Twitter, I'm rooting for Tech in a big way. I mean, but Dampier comes in, he's averaging 209 yards passing, and he's leading the team with 66 yards rushing. True dual threat guy, but I mean, this is the moment Baron Morton's been waiting for his whole time at Tech. And I think he's shown that he's skilled enough. He can probably get out there and perform.
Oh, definitely. Tech's got it. They've got it rolling.
Yeah.
They've played really well every game this season. I don't see that stopping.
I mean, Oregon State's not much this year, but still, I mean, they got on them early, and that's not something we've necessarily seen from Tech. And
if that was a night game in Salt Lake, I think it might be a little closer. But I look at Tech to cover that, and it's a what is it, a 1.5? You said?
No, it's 3.5 on the
So
U.
they're looking at if it was a neutral field, then Tech would win. Yeah, give me Tech. That's not much of a spread. Three and a hook.
Yeah. Utah is averaging 290 yards rushing, Tech 215, but passing wise, a lot more on the Tech side. They're averaging 58 points a game, Jeremy. And like I said, they really put it on Oregon State pretty quick last week. But they've played a terrible schedule too.
I know. The more we talk about it, I'm like, maybe I ought to throw that pick over there on Utah.
And then Utah really, I mean, we saw them dismantle UCLA in week 1, but UCLA is just
they already fired their coach 3 weeks in.
But Pine Bluff, Kent State, and Oregon State, that's a pretty soft early schedule, but still I think this is a really quality Tech team. And to me, I just look at it and say, are they ready for the moment? And it's a big moment.
It is a big moment,
and not a lot of teams go into Salt Lake and come out winners. So I'm kind of talking myself out of the Tech pick,
right?
Yeah.
The more I think about it, like,
because I think Whittingham's probably got that team back to where they used to be. Last year was pretty much an outlier for them.
Yeah, I've been so good with my picks this year, and the only one I really waffled on was OU Michigan, and then I went with my gut and picked OU.
Let me pull up the old pick 'em, see who I took, and we'll start to work our way out of here. But Iron Skillet this week too.
TCU SMU.
Yep. And looks.
I got the ponies. TCU's a 7-point favorite.
Yeah, I like Hoover, man. I think John Hoover. The
writer.
Yeah. No. John Hoover, their quarterback. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. John Hoover is a good writer. I'll go with that. TCU is 6.5-point favorite, and they are at home. But I don't think anybody's been wowed by SMU so far, and particularly, and I kind of blame the refs because SMU could have had it won maybe, but I don't know. TCU looks pretty sharp this year.
Now I just changed 2 picks. I'm probably going to win. I'm probably going to win 7 picks this week after the great start.
Yeah, because I've right now as I look at it, I've got Tech with the 3, covering the 3.
I'm going
to switch that over to Utah.
3.5 at home. I need to look at Utah's schedule, man.
How about is 35 and a hook too much for Oregon, or are they just going to put it all over Oregon State again?
I think Oregon State's a bad football team.
All right,
that's a lot of points, though.
Michigan getting
in a rivalry,
or Michigan giving 2.5 at Lincoln. Does Matt Rule have that team ready?
I don't think so.
I've got them covering 2.5.
I think Michigan's defense is going to give Pat Mahomes Light some problems.
I think you said it last week. I think I'm a long hauler.
Get the long COVID?
I think so.
Since 2021.
Dan Narba late on the subject, but I always wanted Pokes to do well. The money just makes it harder for some of the non-blue bloods to stay in the battle. That's probably true. And I would say even some of the blue bloods are going to have trouble because they're blue bloods.
I would never accuse Oregon of being a blue blood, but they got a ton of money.
They do, but I mean, take Nebraska, for example. Do they have a lot of money?
I think they've got enough. You'd be surprised at what some of these athletic departments are pulling in.
Yeah. Damon Schultz checking in on Facebook. Michigan and Nebraska will be a pillow fight.
I just have no feel for that game.
I mean, it's in Lincoln, and I had Nebraska covering the 2.5, but now that I think about it, Underwood did have a big game last week against Central Michigan, so I'll probably go with the Wolverines to cover that.
I'm going to look at Utah's stats. I want to see what their rush defense is like.
Bill Belichick travels to Orlando to take on Central Florida.
UCF, baby.
UCF in a big way. And then Jalen Daniels gets to host Rich Rod and the Mountaineers coming off that big win against Pitt last week. I've got Kansas on that one covering the 13.5.
I think I
don't know why I should now.
I think I picked West Virginia.
That is a pretty good spread. They'll probably lose, but no guarantee that the Kansas defense can hold that one. Sunbelt Billy rolls into Coral Gables. Are they still in Coral Gables down at the U?
Yeah, they're playing at
what's the Hard Rock?
Hard Rock, yes.
Isn't that where Anna Nicole Smith died? Oh, that was
Hard.
Or no, she OD'd there one time. I don't know.
Fantastic.
Hey, Super Sky Point, real quick before we forget, Robert Redford passing away this week. I shared something on Facebook about my favorite Redford movies, and a lot of respect given him. You know, I don't think it was lost on anybody that he was fairly liberal in his beliefs, but a lot of right wing former celebrities and actors stepping out and showing class and paying tribute to the man. If you haven't seen 3 Days of the Condor, I mean, that is prime 70s spy drama without a lot of shootouts and without a lot of crazy action stuff. Just true suspense drama, and that is my favorite Robert Redford movie.
Yeah, I'm always partial to The Natural because I think it was on HBO every day when I was growing up.
Yeah. Damon Schultz says The Natural. It's a great one. You know what's funny is all the tweets coming out talking about the age differential between Robert Redford at that time and Wilford Brimley.
They were the same age.
Poor Wilford Brimley. I mean, he was 50. He was 50 when he turned 30.
He was younger than me when they filmed Cocoon.
Yeah, he's old soul. Jeremiah,
49 years old.
Yeah. Damon Schultz says The Natural. Dan Narva says Jeremiah Johnson. And Jeremiah Johnson.
Jeremiah Johnson.
That was a good one.
Produced one of the greatest memes of all time. One of the greatest gifs of all time.
The gif of him turning around and nodding at the camera. That's been a mainstay.
Hey, The Winter Soldier. I know it's a comic book movie and it's a Marvel movie, but that is a great movie.
Okay.
He was in that.
The Last Castle was pretty good with him.
Last Castle was a very good movie.
I mean, that wasn't really up my alley at the time, but I watched
Gandolfini was in that. Was Barry Pepper? No, Barry Pepper wasn't in that.
Yeah. I think he was filming that Scientology movie at that time.
Battlefield Earth. Good Lord, that's awful.
Poor who's the Frederick Forrest or
Forrest Whitaker.
Frederick Forrest was chef in Apocalypse Now. So Dan Narva says, never mind the damn auto tag. Sorry. Speaking of Dan Narva, I'm going to bank on Sparty. I've got Sparty covering the 18.5 against the Trojans, and I'm going to go on out and say Sparty takes the game.
You know, every time that I do these picks, I usually pick Michigan State because of Dan. So this week is no different. And in my absolute just hatred for one Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
I just,
I don't hate him now that I see that his big grand scheme has crumbled apart.
I just hate him. I hate him. It's personal though.
Okay. Well, it's out there and you're not alone. We kind of glazed over the Hurricanes and the Gators. I've got Miami winning 28-13.
I have Miami taking that game as well. Talking with Miami fan last week who talked me into switching my pick to Miami in week 1, and he was right.
I told him you again.
I think so.
They got
a lot of athletes all over the field. A lot of speed.
Number 0. He's reminiscent of some big U players.
But I think I picked that game 28-7, and Wayman Lee Coulter Jr. told me, "Oh, they're going to score 42 points." I was like, "Man, I don't think they are." I tell you, Florida's got a good defense.
Yeah,
and they gave Nussmeier a lot of problems last week. Their only problem last week is their quarterback couldn't quit giving the ball back.
Yeah, and that's not going to let up in Miami.
You give up 20 points and turn the ball over 5 times. You got a decent defense.
Dan Narva throwing out the phrase I haven't heard in a while, Tebow. I'd love to beat Tebow, but may need to be Saturday AM ball for me. Yeah, I mean, night game in Compton, the biggest fear is leaving the stadium.
It'll be an empty stadium, but you don't want to go outside the stadium.
Yeah. How about this for a game tomorrow night at 7 on Fox, Jeremy? Iowa traveling to Rutgers.
Ooh.
Iowa favored 2.5, and the over/under is 46.5. I'd probably
take the under,
I've got
and
Iowa
also
covering
take
that.
Rutgers to score the least points this week.
That could probably be something in the mix.
That could be a 6-3 game.
Yeah.
Or a 3-2 game or a 3-0 game.
Yeah. So that's one to avoid if you'd like picking overs. And then also, as I mentioned, does Notre Dame get the bounce back against Purdue?
Yeah, Purdue's not.
Ooh, another one, Jeremy, and this is one that I'll probably now make a point to really pay attention to. 6:30 kickoff on NBC. Illinois travels to Bloomington to take on Kurt Signetti and the Fighting Hoosiers. Indiana's got a team up there.
Indiana's a 4.5-point favorite. I'm taking Illinois.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do it. I think they've got it. I don't think Signetti has the squad to play against all these good teams he's going to have to play this year. The schedule doesn't line up for him this year like it did last year.
And that's what happened with, Rhett Lashley down at SMU so far. I mean, you needed to hold home serve against Baylor. That's for dang sure.
If when that schedule turns over, it can be brutal.
For sure. Talking about brutal, I'm already 34 points down. I have no points from last night in the fantasy league, and Coach Mode Jeff is already 34 points ahead of me. So I need a big kicking game from Dallas this week.
I'm already down 23.
Oh gosh.
Oh, because he had Josh Allen.
And I'm telling you something. I checked, and this is kind of pissing me off. I checked the injury status, and Aaron Jones for the Vikings was not listed. He's out, but he was not listed out yesterday morning or Wednesday night, one of the two, when I checked it. And I look at it, and it's too late to switch it, so I got hosed. It's always hosing me. All right, so hey, your Cubs qualified for the playoffs over the week.
That's right.
Cade
World
Horton,
Series 2025, baby.
You and I figure you and Newt Huntley, man. I would think he lives in Norman. I would think y'all be like getting together at Louis for a beer and having a Cade Horton watch party or something.
Man, how good has that kid been?
That's quite the story.
Norman's own Norman
Newt Huntley, our friend from Sooner Baseball Report. He's been keeping people on notice about Cade Horton from the get-go. So Cubs are in there. Man, Dan Narva's Tigers, they are limping towards the playoffs. They had a 14-game lead a month ago, I think it was, and now the lead is 3, and they've still got a 3-game series against Cleveland, who seems to be catching spark. Jordan Alvarez hurt for the Astros, but yet now the Rangers are 4 games out of the wild card.
Yeah, Cubs are now 6 games out of the Central. Doesn't matter because they're already in. Wow. Yeah, Detroit. Yeah, they got 3.5 game lead over Cleveland now. Is that a 4-game set with the Guardians? I'm sorry. I hate it. I hate
it's
that.
The dumbest. It is.
I would have been fine if they would have gone back to their original name.
What was the original? I forget.
The Cleveland Spiders.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. But on this show, our policy is, Jeremy, once they took bullets away from us, the rest was just window dressing.
Yeah.
So looking at the major leagues, Rangers could make up some ground this weekend hosting the Marlins. Cubs and Reds get their weekend series started. Who you got for AL MVP? Would you go Raleigh or Judge?
Cal Raleigh's hitting like 210.
Yeah. Judge way higher too.
Judge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Judge, right? I haven't looked at the analytics for the catching stats. Yeah. I mean, 50 bombs from a catcher is unheard of.
It really is.
But that average, man, I don't know. What's his OPS? What's his WAR plus? What's his? See, I don't.
I looked at the comparison, and I think other than RBIs and home runs, Judge leads.
Judge is hitting 328.
Yeah,
with 48 bombs. And he's probably got over 100 RBIs. He's not listed in the leaders, so he's got less than 108.
Yeah. Hey, while we got Damon Schultz commenting on here because he says, Judge, let's go ahead and do something here. And let's give a shout out to our favorite roofing business, A+ Roofing and Construction. Rain or shine, they'll be there, locally owned and operated by our friend Damon Schultz, who's checking in right now. Is that a pretty good suck-up segue?
That was fantastic.
He probably would appreciate if we were both healthy here talking about his product. But
56
anyway.
homers, 118 RBIs.
Yeah. So listen, if you're hearing this in the metropolitan area of Oklahoma City, be sure and give Damon a call, because I can tell you this much. I became very soured on the metro roofing companies when we were exiting Norman. And I know this guy personally. If you want somebody to come out and look at your roof and give you an honest assessment and also be trustworthy and get the job done, that's A+ Roofing and Construction. My friend Damon Schultz. Astros, they are in a weekend series with the Mariners. Isn't that about a 2-game differential on that one?
I think so. Let's think about this NL MVP race. Is it Ohtani and that's it?
Yeah, I can't think. I mean, nobody else is. You're not going to give it to a pitcher.
283, 51 home runs, 95 RBIs.
Who else is in the lead there?
You got Schwarber with 53 home runs, but he's hitting 243.
Yeah, and I misspoke. Houston and Seattle dead tied.
Yeah,
in the AL West. So that 3-game series will have a lot to say. Yeah, I mean, who's somebody on the Brewers that's got
Frelick?
Yeah.
296.
I think this weekend, Jeremy's like, isn't there? I've seen headlines about Verlander and I've seen headlines about Kershaw. They're both kind of turning it in after this. They're both turning it in after this season, I believe.
Yeah, Kershaw. The Dodgers announced yesterday Kershaw's retiring at the end of the season.
Well, I think Verlander might have also thrown something out.
It's about time.
Hey, a dissenting opinion. Steve Anderson says Raleigh. He's a top defensive catcher, and his hitting stats makes him more valuable to his team overall.
But he doesn't play in New York, Steve.
Yeah. Dan Narvis says just before the All-Star game, they were 14 up. Now they're 4 under and 500 in the second half.
If it's legitimately the most valuable player, it goes to Raleigh, just because he's a really good defensive catcher. He's going to hit 60 homers projected.
Yeah.
The team's in contention.
Yeah.
The Yankees, I think, are a wild card team, so he's leading the AL in average, second in home runs, top 10 RBIs. His OPS, I think, is over 1.
Yankees are only 3 games back from the Blue Jays.
And there's like 20 games left, maybe less. Maybe. I mean, they could overtake the Jays.
Yeah. I mean, Raleigh, you couldn't say Raleigh has the support around him in the lineup, right?
No. I can't even think of who else is on the Mariners roster.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have Stanton.
Jay Buhner's still playing.
What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for?
My baseball people kept saying Ken Phelps.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and start making our way out of here. We will. Are you going to feel like being on the air tomorrow night in the post game?
I should. I should be. I should turn the corner today sometime. I'd like to.
Let's shoot for 9:00 tomorrow night, since Oklahoma is a 2:30 kickoff. It will be over, and even if you did make it to the game, you should be. I would think you would be home by then.
I would be home by then.
I would hope you would be home by then. But that Lenny, he can probably be a negative influence, if I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
The Cunado. All right. He's Jeremy Schroeder. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog, and we appreciate everybody jumping in with us. And also, we want to remind you, for self-defense coverage, legal self-defense coverage, be sure and check out our friends at CCW Safe. Plans starting as low as $19 a month. Use the link there at the bottom of the scroll. We'll also put it in the description of this video. And let me tell you something, self-defense support is something that you need if you're somebody who utilizes your Second Amendment rights to defend your family. You can't be out being a jackass. You're not going to get covered if you're out being a jackass. But they handle everything from legal defense to physical and financial and emotional support because they treat you like family. And I know 2 of the 3 founders very closely and worked with them for close to 30 years. So very trustworthy company, CCW Safe, legal self-defense coverage with plans starting as low as $19 a month. Be sure and use the Law Dog link and let them know if you get a plan. So, and also we want to thank A+ Roofing and Construction for sponsoring today's show. Jeremy, I hope you get feeling better overnight. Like I said, I got on the Z-Pack and the steroids. I went to convenient care the other day and just said enough of this because over the counter, I mean, you can only take Mucinex so long and see if it doesn't work.
I can take it forever.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, until we dry out, that might be the case.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So he's Jeremy Schroeder. I'm Chuck Ramsey, and we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure and catch this episode on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X pages. Also, we will upload the audio to our Spotify page at Law Dog Sports. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. We'll talk to you real soon.